Ben Shapiro has this series on the Daily Wire, which he calls Sunday Special. And basically, he has on a guest and he talks to them. This current one we're going to be looking at, he had Dave Rubin on, Dave Rubin of the Rubin Report. He's going to make a pretty stupid comment here, which is admittedly not something that's scarce or in scarcity in any way, shape, or form. But we're going to be seeing Dave Rubin claiming that both the Young Turks and Bernie Sanders are far left. Check it out.
Act like an AT&T phone line. Don't tell me that you're acting like an AT&T phone line while you're demonetizing Dave Rubin while actually spending money to promote Cenk.
Right.
Like that's absurd.
So of course. So I read your piece on that, and I think it's a perfectly sound argument. I'm still worried, even granting you all of that, I'm still worried about where that would lead if they were to be viewed as a publisher instead, because it still creates a problem with the government. And I just don't think the government can solve this thing. I think competition is the only thing that can. But very quickly on that, we know that they have partners. I mean, with the groups that they've decided that are monitoring content, they're all far left groups. The channels that they whitelist, like the Young Turks, I mean, the Young Turks is a far left, by every estimation, they're a far left news organization. Now, because the media never calls anything far left, they just call everything far right.
Yeah. Bernie Sanders is mainstream left.
Right,
so.
Exactly. They would never call, Bernie is far left. I mean, that is the truth, but they never call him far left. He's a hero and you're far right. So again, I mean, that gets us back to the Overton window thing. But I would say competition is the answer, and we just have to keep putting out good stuff, and we will survive. I mean, this is exactly why I'm on Patreon, because YouTube Rev, it just makes no sense. And you know, I'm working on some other things, partly because you hooked me up with something, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so the idea that the Young Turks or Bernie Sanders are far left is a very laughable claim because it's so stupid. It's really funny to me because I had just seen yesterday criticism of the Young Turks of someone calling them too neoliberal or calling them neo-libs. So on one hand, you have people calling them, oh, they're not left enough, but then you have these dudes calling them far left. But here's my question, because Bernie Sanders and the Young Turks as well, they're both defenders of capitalism. They're just social democrats. They just want a strong welfare state, just like most of us do, you know, most progressives at least. Now, where would you then put actual socialists? Where would you put anarchists? Where would you put communists? Where does Noam Chomsky fall on your political spectrum? Because if in your political spectrum, social democrats are far left, people who support capitalism, but just want a heavy welfare state, accountability, regulation, etc., where do anarcho-syndicalists land on your spectrum? Because the actual far left is people like Noam Chomsky who are, you know, anarcho-syndicalists or communists and, you know, actual socialists. Those are actually far left people. So when you make claims like this that are utterly and unbelievably laughable, like calling the Young Turk and Bernie Sanders, again, Bernie Sanders is a filthy capitalist to many communists, and they'll call him out for that. He's not left enough. But to these doofuses, the Young Turks is too far left, which is unbelievable. It's unfucking believable. It's a laughably stupid claim that, I was going to say I can't believe I heard on there, but it's just false and just flat out wrong. They're barely center left, and they're social democrats. They're still supporting capitalism with just a heavy welfare state, and that's plainly it.